Well, it was a close call. I almost again hit the stop streaming button, but leaving that tiny error behind, we're fine. We're once again streaming after so much time of not even thinking about stream. We're back to the cultivation zone. We're finally returning to roots with some stream, so to speak. So well, hello everybody, hello bot watchers. In case you are I see that you decided to fucking die. Okay, okay, okay. We're back. Please tell me that we're back. Please, dear God, I will have to check what is going on. What is happening? Are we back? Are we? We are in problems. Oh my God. My internet is dying today. No, no, let me fucking stream, please. I cannot even complain at this. But well, I. What? What do you mean? How is it that you don't know what is happening? What? What? What do you mean? What exactly does that mean? Do you know? Do you not know what is going on with what? With the stream? With what I'm trying to say? With what? What do you mean? Explain yourself, please, so that I can work on that problem if it is a problem. Do you not understand me? Is that the problem? Wah. Well, I think it is kind of a problem because I can watch almost every person in in YouTube videos talk at x2 speed or basically double the speed the video is on, and the only human I cannot do it with is myself. I guess I really mumble a lot, so I will have to try my best at pronouncing words the best way possible I can, so that it is enjoyable for every single human to hear me talk. I don't know, something like that. But well, leaving a little bit of she posting outside. Besides, behind, in front of us. No, I wanted to say that obviously thanks for the idea. Oh no, what is happening? Oh no, what just happened? Someone. Oh yeah, thank you, Merly Asot, for your follow, dear mage guy, dear mage streamer. Uh, yeah, I am from Argentina. I I kind of not talk about it because it is something not really weird, but I don't know. It is something. It is something that I do not talk about in general. Uh, yeah, I saw your tweet and I really also didn't notice you were an Spanish speaker, so I I completely understand the feeling behind that. I I guess we're very fine in that regard, so to speak. So we do not have to worry, or we have, we don't know. But well, leaving that aside, I have with myself a little bit of water, a liter and a half. In reality, it isn't a little bit, and I was also thinking of having some yogurt aside from this water, so it might be a lot of fucking water in reality. But I want to hydrate myself. I am dying of dehydration. Please give me water. Well, I guess I guess it is because today it is a fucking allergies day, so I need to regain all the water that I'm spending on being sick, or the closest thing to being sick that it is having allergies, because a fucking plant decided to produce pollen, and somehow that makes my tiny childish noise go, oh no, we are dying, and start producing so much on hand, unhinged amounts of mucus that I am going crazy. But well, what can I do about it? Nothing. So we are fine. We are completely fine. Oh my god. But well, here I have the list. Here I have to focus myself. And is who said? Let me check because I want to find who was it that said, oh yeah, today you should talk about Argentina. I want that person to be here. Do not make me talk about Argentina if you are not going to be here. I am going to go crazy. Oh yeah, my PC is lagging. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Time to close some windows when I'm done. I don't know. It was Saxter, so it is fine. It is fine. I can ramble. Then I can start rambling. Well, then allow me to ramble a little bit about Argentina. This idea was originated from what Disaster gave me to talk about. He wanted a little bit of history about Argentina, but I. It, not only that, I think there isn't that much history of Argentina that could interest an outsider, so to speak, and that also has no real deep, or really needs at least to be talked about for some long hours, thing that I do not want to commit to, but also it has the fact that a lot of the times when we are talking about the history of Argentina as an Argentinian, you know the context completely, and therefore you are able to skip a lot of parts as if it was a given. So I do not want to also give the history of Argentina to somebody who might not even know who were our presidents, aside from fucking, I don't know, Christina or someone so talk about like that. So the reason I ended up going with the ideas that are on the chat a little bit higher than what Marley said, the Argentinian history and how it ended up affecting our actual society, so to speak. The fact that we function in a certain way, so to say, and what it really means, and all of that might be a little bit more approachable, not only for me but also for somebody who doesn't really know that much about Argentina. So I hope it is or it can end up being something understandable, so to speak. And now, without any more worries about how I am going to perform, I am just going to perform on itself. So let me start this time for real with the fact that the Argentinian story is a kind of tumultuous one, so to speak. The term that I thought when I wanted to speak about it was as well as USA had their big depression, here in Argentina we have had, if I'm not wrong, at least five big depressions, so to speak. Um, being in one of the Latin American countries, basically, means that we had a lot of struggles from the 60s almost to the 90s because of external influences, and when all of that stopped, so to speak, um, when external forces stopped interfering with how we manage our own country, so to speak, we ended up having the problem of reorganizing ourselves. Think that even today is affecting the actual Argentinian daily life, if we have to give it a name. Not everybody is able, not everybody, no, almost the opposite of that. Almost nobody is able to really live a chill life, so to speak. In Argentina, we really have had so many failures, errors that in I will say at best 10% of yeah, the society is able to live a leisure life. The rest is in a constant struggle, so to speak. I don't know how is it on other countries, but here in Argentina, for me, it seems kind of bad when we are having that into consideration. And okay, that was the consequences, but it also had some factors behind the own Argentinian person, as for example, when in ourselves the Argentinians like to not be that active, so to speak. It has a lot to do with the fact that, as I was explaining, um, without trying to attack anybody or overwhelm the listener, we have had a lot of external influences when we were a still developing country. So it ended up making us afraid of speaking, so to speaking for ourselves and giving our real opinion on things, or even trying to go against the politics or sometimes against the institutes that are around ourselves, our lives. So nowadays it is also another problem that we are carrying from older generations, basically, and it is not something bad by itself, because it is kind of what is the word, an heightened sense of awareness about the fact that sometimes it is kind of bad, or even if we do not see how it is bad, it will have a bad outcome when we try to go against what authorities say, so to speak. We have had three coup d'etats, so to speak. We had in the early 2000s a really big problem with presidents. There was at a certain point like 4 presidents in 2 months or something like that, because we were really having problems with how the whole country was being managed, and we started really trying to take things into our own hands, basically into the average Argentinian hands, instead of leaving the power to those who really should try to manage the, the state, so to speak. And nowadays, it is also a consequence that we don't really involve ourselves. The average Argentinian person doesn't really involve itself in politics as much. It doesn't mean that we do not involve ourselves and even more emotionally on other things, but it is something that I will talk later on. So now those are, as I try to say, the consequences of all of that. Now, going to how the thanks to those factors, how the actual Argentinian society works. And well, before going to that, let me give you, this is a real piece of history, or a real more objective part of history than what I have been telling before. Argentina was formed from descendants not only of the colonies that were here, the Indians and all of that were here, the Incas and all of those tribes of people, but also from the side of Spain that decided to come here. And one of the many errors that we have when we think about Argentina is that we think they created the asado, or in English, basically the barbecue, because at the end of the day it is the same thing. No, it wasn't really an Argentinian invention, so to speak. It was something that ended up existing because those who, in this case, came from Spain had already the that tradition of eating their barbecue, eating their asadito, and all of that ended up being implemented on the whole society, because at the early 1800 days of Argentina, basically, not 2000, no, really back in the day, Argentina was a really kind of rich country, so to speak. Not because of itself, but rather because of the people that was moving here. For example, there is also the fact that in Argentina we have a lot of immigrants that came from a lot of rich first world country, so to speak. We have people that came from, as I said before, Spain, the older Spain, not I do not want to insult Merly if he's hearing this, but I mean the older Spain that was really rich. We also had immigrants that came from Italy, some part of France, also the part of it is kind of frowned upon to talk about it, but it is a fucking reality. We also had a lot of fucking German immigrants that came here around the 1940s. Such a coincidence. Huh? The biggest coincidence there will ever be. Nobody needs to say anything about it. It was only a coincidence. Yeah, the biggest coincidence ever. And never talk about it, because people on the internet get triggered if you say that it happens, or if you say that it didn't happen. So we're leaving it at their immigrants, German immigrants, something. something war. So yeah, there were a lot of different cultures that ended up combining into what is the actual Argentina. Uh, Nine. No, no, I am not from Sherman descendants. My descendants were from uh, how is it the Turkish Turkland? I don't know Turkish Turkestan, Turkestan, some Turkish. Those are my descendants. Turkish people and Arab people is my family tree. Not I wasn't I wasn't someone with German grandfathers. I was going to say blessed, but in my head went to risky. Haha, haha, haha. But well, that ended up creating one of the weirdest societies that, at least from my point of view, we have. Because what I was trying to say before is we have a lot of traditions and rites, so to speak, that we perform in our actual world that isn't really our, our own creation, but we we say that it is because nobody does it with such a consistency, so to speak. For example, as I was trying to say, the Argentinian type of barbecue or fucking asado, the only difference that we have from American people, from European people, from Asian people is that we do it fucking on a weekly basis. Do you have in mind how much it hurts your money to literally one every fucking Sunday go and buy? If you are commonly the Argentinian families are at least 5 people. Imagine that you're 5 people. You have to go and buy almost half a fucking cow because you eat meat and almost nothing else when it is asado time, so to speak. It is mind blowing, and that is not the only kind of expense that we have in that regards. We also one of the biggest influences that had the marketing in the average Argentinian was all of that sweet kind of products. We have, I think it is kind of well known. We have the Fernet with Coca-Cola. That man, how much it fucking costs here to buy a Fernet and a Coca-Cola. And if we are having now add to the asado expenses the Fernet and Coca-Cola. And now also to that a dessert that has to be from one of the main chains of ice cream in Argentina, or at least if you're not going to buy from the biggest ice cream makers, you need to go to an artisan that makes the best kind of ice cream. And this is a real problem that has the average family and that has more than 50% of the average Argentinian, as I was trying to say. It is kind of amazing to see how influenced we were when we became a society, our own society, so to speak. I I don't really know how the other parts of the world are, but I can pretty confidently say that Argentina is one of the biggest, or the Argentinian family is one of those who spend the most on completely unnecessary things. And now let me take water because I got too nervous. I was going to start screaming almost. Okay, fine. Okay. Well, basically, that is the other side that I wanted to talk about. It is kind of funny to see how the average Argentinian really struggles, so to speak, because you end up having so many expenditures, so to speak, that man, becoming a functional society member requires you to have an incredibly high salary or something that is really rare, have very good knowledge about how to spend your money. If you still want to do those kind of traditions in a cheap way, so to speak, if you are that people that cannot avoid or cannot help themselves from doing so, but wants to somehow change it, so to speak, and at least it has its kind of good side. Nowadays, we are kind of seeing uh, not a change, basically more people that end up trying to go for that route, so to speak. People that, while trying to maintain all their traditions, as I said before, you will fucking spend on asado, you will spend on Fernet and Coca-Cola, you will spend on ice cream, but you will do it in a more clever way. There is, it is kind of weird to see that there is an increase or an increased amount in people that are starting to have animals, farm animals in their houses to fucking kill them after what is it? After making them have offspring or at least feeding them to be a kind of good animal. It is weird when we when you take into consideration that in almost no other parts of the world that is something that the average family does, because as I was saying, it is kind of becoming something that the average family needs to do. But I guess it is okay in some kind of sense. At least we are starting to learn how to not spend so much, or at least if we are going to spend consciously, so to speak. And now, give me a second. Okay, there it is. I had some tasty boogers. Oh no. Uh, no, yeah, I won't tell you. I know that you decided to give money to an streamer, so without meaning anything bad, I kind of have an idea. So do not worry, it is okay. But man, I mean it. I hope you can afford everything else after fucking giving internet people money. If you understand what I mean, you cannot. It shouldn't be my responsibility to tell you that you shouldn't do that. But what I was saying, or what I was trying to refer to, um, here in Argentina, the average person doesn't think about themselves after or before buying anything. They literally have the motivation of buying random things, of going out of their way to get the kind of best quality meat and completely unnecessary things, when at the next day they are almost forced to fucking eat rice, white plain rice without even oil sometimes. Why? Because they're fucking overspent and didn't want to acknowledge that fact. But well, I hope that isn't your. No, 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 no. I am really, I really mean it when I say there is people that goes to spend so much money without thinking about anything else, that they really cannot put anything on the rice. One of the most common things is after eating asado the Sunday, you have on on Mondays and even sometimes also on Thursdays, plain white rice. And if you are kind of rich, you put some cheese on it. And not too much, because it is only to not notice so much that you are eating plain rice. So it is really a problem. That is what I mean when I say it is a problem. Not that, oh yeah, they are spending so much. Why isn't the average Argentinian such an investor, such a clever? But no. It really is a problem. But well, stop. I do not want to get angry about it. So what else was there on the list? Yeah, well, that is kind of the bad side, and as I said, there is also the other face of the moon, so to speak. At least we are kind of slowly learning about everything, and we are on a certain kind of controlled manner, having a little bit more of conscience about all of those things. And well, at least for now it is working better than before, so to speak. But well, I don't know. I am trying my best, so thank you for your commentaries. Now, let me go back to the fact that, as I was trying to say, it is one thing. There is also another funny thing that, in this case, I cannot really say where did it came from, but the average Argentinian also has the tradition of, oh, you know what? We have already eaten. We have, or what is it, or midday food, so to speak, and it is time to take a fucking 4 hour nap. And literally, almost synchronically, the whole Argentina stops working at least for 3 hours. Even big fucking no man, you do not understand. It is almost no place is open from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The whole Argentina world decides to, oh yeah, you know what? We are resting. We are not doing anything. You cannot go and to your local grocery shop because they are closed. You cannot go to buy clothes. You cannot go to the gym. You cannot go to. Sometimes even the fucking kids schools closed. It, I think since almost 2010 we have been trying to change it, but earlier on the earlier 2000s and on the 1990s and before, we really had a problem with that, or not a problem in the sense that we noticed it was a problem. We had somehow a weird thing in our society that, oh, you know what? Time to stop everything for 3 hours, to literally go to bed for 3 hours out of nowhere. But at least, thanks to that, the average Argentinian person is also kind of a night owl, so to speak. We, because there is such a long break in the middle of your day, you end up having a lot more time to go. For example, all that is, as I was saying before, your local grocery shop, even if it is closed from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., you can find it open at 12 a.m. or sometimes, well, 00 or 1 a.m. sometimes, or the parts of the city that are specifically built to attract tourists are mostly nightly, so to speak. So I wouldn't say it is really bad or really good. It is something you need to have in mind, that idea basically when you think about visiting Argentina. It is something. It, yeah, basically it is really something. You cannot leave behind that when you. Oh yeah, you know what? I am going to visit my friend. Oh no, you won't have a great time if you are not prepared for the idea that that person somehow might decide to fucking take a 3 hour nap. What? What is wrong with you, my brother? But well, what? Why should the Argentina guy change? It is your problem, obviously. I don't know. And well, now the next thing that, yeah, I think we can advance to how do I see it as an Argentinian. As I have been saying, even if we have a lot of things going on, we are at least trying to work on them. And there is also, this is a bad point. This isn't a great one. We really are having some problems nowadays because, as I tried to say before, the whole Argentina society went through a lot of bad experiences, not only from the political point of view, but also we had, I think, two whole economic system failures, so to speak. So the older generations, or well, the older ones, inserted into what can be considered the older, so to speak, people that were born from 1950s and so on, they fear that, you know what, if you put money in a bank, you are going to die. You are going to get robbed by your own bank. And even today, we are trying to work around that idea. Even today, we are trying to fix that concept and to make not so older people, because even sometimes you find 30 years olds that also repeat that same bullshit without even trying to see if it is something that keeps happening today or not. Because it really is a problem. We had a lot of economic system failures. Yeah, we had two. That is a fucking lot. But we also, as we became another, as every single country did, another global country, nowadays the biggest banks and the biggest places to put our money isn't or aren't from here. They are in Argentina. We have the biggest banks are, aside from the Argentina, how is it? Banco de la Nación Argentina. That is the biggest one, obviously. But the next ones are Galicia. I think it is from Spain. BBVA, French. Mastercard, if I'm not wrong, it is from USA, and a fucking Chinese bank. We aren't even having problems nowadays with that kind of things, so to speak. It really is a kind of trauma that the whole Argentina society needs to work on. And as I said before, we're trying to solve the problems. It doesn't mean that we are doing so properly. We are trying, and there is a lot of opposition from inside the own Argentina world, so to speak. But well, what can I say? Let me keep going. now we are on. There is something interesting to speak about here. Sounds like USA. I don't know. In USA, what it seems, at least from the outside, USA seems to not be that bad, so to speak. In USA, you have a lot more of people that risks their money. In Argentina, it is normal for the average person to get their paycheck and go as fast as they can to the bank, cash it all out, and literally that fucking childish idea of putting the money under the bed. What are you doing, brother? Why are you doing such an action? On the other hand, in what it seems from the outside, as I try to say, in USA you find a lot more of people that tries, at least if they are going to take it outside of the bank system, tries to invest in some way. From the outside, the average American citizen seems to be a little bit more clever. You have a lot of expenditures, so to speak, but in reality, every kind of society has them. The only difference is that the American citizen spends their money on fast food, while the Argentinian citizen spends their money on fucking Coca-Cola, Fernet, and asado meat. As I was saying, it is at the end of the day the kind of same expenditure. The only difference is that, oh wow, one is different from the other on how do you obtain it, but it still is expenditure for the sake of it. And well, wait, I was lost once again. Yeah, well, the idea that I had here was it is something that I it is bad, but well, what can I say? In Argentina, we also have another problem, very funny problem, that is last time we had real statistics were in 2018, and in 2018 we saw the number that the main city of Argentina, or the main province of Argentina, so to speak, that is obviously Buenos Aires, has 4,000 times more investment on it than every other part. 4,000 times more. Let me, if you cannot put into perspective that number, imagine that you have one coin, and next to that coin that you give to one child, you are giving to your favorite child 5 whole fucking bills. Not one coin, directly 5 bills. That is the kind of same difference that there is between how much money is there inside the biggest city and how much money the whole rest of the country lacks. It is something amazing. So we really are struggling with underdevelopment, so to speak, inside of on the on the most more rural parts of Argentina, if we have to call them that way. And it isn't because we cannot do anything about it. It is because the political system that has always reigned, so to speak, decided that it is better to keep working on the main province, so to speak, than to try and fix all the other problems that exist on the whole rest of the country. For example, I think it is also that something that happens on USA in this case, but we have a place here in Argentina that extends for almost like 3 provinces, a whole oil mining and oil fracking site, and it is amazing how much money is directly funneled from there to the outside, or on the best case to the main province. As I was saying, there is the rest of Argentina sees almost no money, and if you really want to succeed because of that same funny concept, you need to go and work in Buenos Aires, or at least in the Ciudad Autónoma de Buenos Aires, that is a subsidiary part of Buenos Aires that became so fucking rich it was able to leave Buenos Aires, so to speak. Imagine that amount of money that you can leave your own province and kind of become your own thing. Amazing, mind blowing. But well, nobody is going to do anything about it, so what can we do? And now, why I am telling you this? Because the most average Argentina guy that you know isn't really an average Argentina guy, is an average Buenos Aires guy. The rest of the country, as I was really trying to say, has a lot of inequalities with those who live in Buenos Aires. For example, in Buenos Aires they already have the how is it called, Elon Musk internet service, I don't remember, Starlink. They have had Starlink since a long time, and in the rest of Argentina there is no possibility of obtaining Starlink. For example, there are also a lot of charging station for Teslas. There are a lot of points of interest, so to speak, without over specifying. There are a lot of points of interest inside Buenos Aires. On the rest of the country, good luck with finding one place where you have a good what is it? A good fucking phone service, not even internet, phone service. There are cities that are literally connected still with those old kind of system that go by via cable, that need you to kind of thanks to how we kind of developed a more advanced technology. Now we do not have to deal so much with you call somebody, and when you are trying to call somebody, you first need to tell the person that is working in the middle who you want to connect to. But until I think it was 1980s, we still had that shit. Why? Because there was no need for the rest of Argentina to be equal to the main province. We are so great at that. And as I was trying to say, there is also another problem, for example, with internet. Here we got optic fiber this year, while it has been a thing in the main province, as I said, since the 2010s, almost, if I'm not wrong. Well, as I said, I do not want to keep over specifying. The main idea is there is too much inequalities between the main province and the rest of Argentina. It isn't that the the main cities are good also, because even the what is it? What main cities isn't the capitals of each province are in a better condition. The capitals have at least the possibility of obtaining a little bit more money, but a lot of times, as, as someone who has gone for at least five cities, five capital cities throughout his life, I can really tell you there is no single comparison to do between Buenos Aires capital city and any other kind of capital city. Even the province that is next to it, I think it is Santa Fe, is completely underdeveloped. And for example, in one of the main problems that continue with Santa Fe, that province has, is because the way that province was kind of planned, so to speak, the capital is located not so close to the Buenos Aires capital, so you have to do at least 5 hours of driving if you want to get there. And when they forcefully try to make a new capital closer to Buenos Aires, we were in a struggle period, so we ended up kind of having nowadays one of the worst cities that has such a high crime rate. It is governed by fucking cartel mafias, and nowadays we're also even having problems with fucking foreigner mafias. We please, this is a joke. Do not hear me. This is a fictional scenario. We're also having problems with the fucking Chinese and fucking Russian mafias that came here. Why? Because the fucking police in the rest of the country decided not to do their work. It is one of the funniest things. And what I said was something haha funny. Please do not think about it as a real thing. But it is fucking horrible, man. if you were to live in Argentina, not in the capital province, or at least, well, yeah, in the capital city, or at least in the capital province, you will suffer, mate. Your life is going to be a constant struggle. But well, what can we say? Except you are welcome. Oh man, how much have I been rambling about this? Well, for an hour, so we're fine. I think it is time for me to kind of take a break. I might have revealed a little bit more than what was necessary. It was all funny. Never think about what I said as something real. There is no mafia here. We're completely fine. I am happy. Happy. That is what I can say right now. Now, well, let me check at least what else. Oh yeah. Oh fucking god. I am not done with this. Oh no. I am not done. It is amazing. I still need to keep going about Argentina. Well, yeah. We are happy potato and happy spoots all over here. So we never talk about anything bad related to Argentina. We are the best country. Oh yeah, we we have the worldwide latest FIFA Cup. Oh yeah, yeah, we are so ready. Yeah, 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 yeah. Football, football, football. It really is amazing. You really need to see it, man. When when you are inside Argentina and you notice how much it is important for the average person to all of all of those entertainments, you really notice what I was trying to say all this time. The average Argentina guy really tries to distract himself from the harsh reality that it is living here basically by becoming kind of addicted to something, be it football, be it rugby, be it when you have the possibility of being close to one of the few clubs that has a good player or team, be it also basketball. We have a there is one province that is almost solely focused on uh, softball. In Argentina, we do not play softball, but there is one province that I think held the last World Cup or something like that. Why? Because we need to keep ourselves distracted from the reality. And when you are not like that, you also have the other kind of more direct approach. There is nowadays we are having a kind of problem with the amount of nightclubs, of at least pubs, of drinking bars or similar places that are opening all over Argentina, and it really shows that we do not want to think about how we are doing. We do not even intend on sometimes on really trying to work on the problems. The what I think on that perspective is that a lot of times um, we are not really finding ourselves the what I have been talking about, the situations and the realities that are in Argentina. We rather have them uh, told to us since a young age, and when you end up being 30 years old, uh, and you are in a point of your life where you can try to work on things by yourself and try to see if, for example, as I have been saying, the haha funny mafias, if you want to see if it is something that can be really solved, you are at that point in your life already fucking tired of thinking about it, hearing about it, watching it on the fucking news, being constantly told that it is a problem, constantly remember that, oh yeah, somebody needs to deal with that, or with this, or with that other subject. Oh yeah, you need to become the greatest possible person, and you need to become or a politician or a big face in a kind of big manner, so that you can become the next, so to speak, helper for Argentina at least. And it is really, as I was saying, a problem. We are getting a kind of completely tired society nowadays. And for example, when I talk about it, I always have in my mind that Bell graphic. We haven't even been losing how much people is being born nowadays. Why? Because somehow we got scared of having child. We didn't have directly a ban on having child here in Argentina, but we have a political and social situation in the 1980s that it was very possible for you or for our parents in reality that if you had a child, your that newborn was going to be swapped or was going to be replaced by a dead one, and you were going to not get to see your child, not even know if you really had a child or not. Why? Because fucking military decided to disappear people. Because fucking military said, you know what? I want a child that has all the kind of traits that I want. As I said before, that a kind of weird coincidence that nobody can really pinpoint why it happened. People that flew from their countries in the 1940s, complete coincidence, that became high rankings in our society and made a problem for those people at that moment, and it was such a high stressful event for the whole Argentina world that even nowadays we are still dealing with the consequences of that. Not only we have, as I said, the trauma from it, we have people that is still trying to know, am I really a child from that was born from my mother or father? I was really from here. We have on every single province a fucking organization that tries to work on that problem. It is I try to not get so fucking emotional, man, but it was fucking painful to see that when you were growing up and you had to see the fucking grandmas worrying on that problem. Why? Because if you noticed that it was happening, you were fucking killed. You had to be oppressed because it was not something that was socially acceptable to speak, and nobody had the chance of really trying to take action. And nowadays, as many other problems, we have been scared to death of trying to really take action, because when somebody really tried to do so, they got completely massacred. We, for example, we also had a problem with the kind of educational system uh, where those university students that we have, I don't completely remember if it was that the faulty state decided to place taxes on fucking students, or if it was, no, well, it was both. We also had, aside from student taxes, we had a complete increase, and basically they got rid of the public transportation system. So if you were interested in getting to anywhere, you had to pay completely stupid prices. So aside from losing money for the simple fact that you decided to study something on a country that had never spoken about it before and had never really been uh, one of those places that has a paid education system, you also have to deal with the fact that if you were living not so close to your university, you had to spend big buck on moving close to the university. And at the end of the day, when people got really fed up, and when the university students tried to say, you know what, I don't think it isn't that I won't pay anymore. I don't think this is the solution and this is the correct way of doing things. Fucking militaries came with fucking green force and said, oh man, how sad it is that you are opposing us. You will get fucking disappeared. We will kill you and nobody will be able to find your body. Why? because we will chop you up and throw you in a fucking river, and we have to really spend, after all of that happened, millions in buying equipment, in buying the correct amount of everything, so that we could say, yes, this really happened. This was a fucking real event. We were not, this wasn't a fantasy story. This was one of the darkest episodes in Argentina. And all of that, as I said before, combined with the grandma's history, combined with the fact that you cannot, with with what I said before, for example, you weren't really able to put your money for at least 15 years in the banks. Why? There were almost chained to economical system failures. So people is completely scared nowadays of taking action, and the average Argentina guy is completely terrified of everything. But we're working. We are trying to work on things, is what we can say. What everybody tries to tell himself to itself. But well, I don't know. I might have gotten a little bit more emotional than what I wanted, so. How much can I even be rating? Only 10 minutes. Okay, it felt like 5 hours. We're fine. Oh man. Any kind of question, anything for me to answer? Uh, oh my god. What a fucking thing that is. How much do we love Argentina? Oh man. I really need water. That is all I can say. Well, I don't know. Trying to not end it on such a sad tone, so to speak. At least we were slowly able to face those negative kind of things. We were able to find and to not completely give a closure to anything, because at the end of the day there were fucking lives involved on all of this. The When the economical system crashed, uh, for a second time we had a spike on almost 20% of suicide rates in 1 year. It was horrible, but we also were able to revive ourselves, and thanks to knowing that there was an age where we really struggled with how much people disappeared and how much babies were completely swapped. We were also one, so to speak, one of the main sources for the actual technologies that involve DNA, um, the fucking, how is it called? The fingerprints and all of that. Not not because, no, yeah, the opposite, because we wanted to never have things like that happen to us, and it was a fucking low, so to speak. But we we keep working on them every single day, and the average person tries not to think too much about them. It was really a dark time, and we were able to overcome and keep going on, even even if those things really were a reality and it wasn't fucking fiction. It was painful, but it was worth it, so to speak. nowadays the biggest problem that we have, as I said, is, oh no, you're spending too much on Coca-Cola and on Fernet, or you might be buying too much asado. It is completely on other level to real people having real problems. Uh, our biggest struggle nowadays, for example, is choosing between presidents. It isn't even close to how it was before. You, you nowadays the average show, so to speak, doesn't even have to consider how bad it is if they say something kind of politically incorrect. But well, hello, Joey. Have a great one. How's it going, man? Here we were, kind of discussing some Argentina history. And I might have gotten a little bit too deep into it, so thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Oh man. You're just feeling incredible, man. Yeah. I try not to speak too much in Spanish porque yo lo lamento, pero eh, el CPM de la gente que habla español está bajito, ¿viste? Entonces, si vos tenés CPM en español, no morimos de hambre, amigo. Hay que tener CPM en inglés. Así que, time to speak English. We are an English channel here. And whoever says the opposite, no, I don't know. It is just a coincidence. Yeah, no. Don't worry. It is not a problem. I was just giving you the context as to why, even if I speak Spanish, I do not do it on stream. And do not worry. It really isn't a problem. It is it is just as I like to say, something, a coincidence, a random event, a pure mishappening, something that comes out of nowhere. But well, I was also on, well, basically that we have been working on everything, and nowadays we're really fine, so to speak. I could try to do an Spanish teaching, but I am I don't completely know if it is okay for me or not to speak about it, because it is sad in a certain sense, but we are lacking audience, so to speak. I wouldn't like to commit so much to one thing if we do not have that much people to help. If you kind of understand what I mean. Yeah, it would be amazing, but I would like to do it when I have more people to help, so to speak. It will be, I will I wouldn't feel so bad, so to speak, if I knew that there were more people really invested into it, um, than if I were to really only do it for example. I haven't checked, but I think we are around 4 today. I don't know. That is kind of a why. Yeah. It is weird, because it isn't that I don't want to do it. It is rather that I have an interest on doing it when I know the message will be really heard by someone, at least, because yeah, it is weird. It is weird, but yeah, makes sense. So we're fine with that. And well, as I was saying, um, no, yeah, it, we're great in general. Today, Argentina average show is great. Now, in this occasion, really, any kind of question, I I can really say thank you, Joy, for coming. I think I was already going deep depression spiral out of fucking Argentina situation. How lovely this country is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're working on things. we're, we have to hop between channels to hope to go from one to another to be active, so to speak. So it is understandable. Do not worry about it. At least, I have said a lot of times, it is already a nice community in general. So it is impossible for anybody to complain. I haven't really found anybody toxic. Yeah, I think it was. I also think it was a great stream. It is always nice to find the possibility of talking about the reality that was Argentina and that it still is, and it also is sometimes a fucking cold shower, so to speak, when you remember how everything was before. It is, at least for me, impossible to not tear up a little bit when remembering how everything was going so bad and how we were able, so to speak, to survive at the very least. But well, thank you for suggesting that topic. It was it was great. It is it is one of the many things that I think are helpful for anybody. As at the end of the day, even if it is Argentina history in this case, but any place of the world has them. Literally every place of the world has has had a darker time, so to speak. So yeah, we're great. Now, how many people we really are? I might have the possibility of raiding someone. Well, three. Yeah. Let's see if I can raid. Who did I raid today? I don't completely. we have well, we have here two people that talk Spanish. Me and Joy, if he is still here. So Saxter, he will have to learn Spanish because I want to write someone in Spanish, but I don't know. I no, I made a clip out. No, no, I didn't mean to make a clip. No, well, it would be better for me to write someone in English, yeah. But anyways, I won't keep distracting myself. Let me do this raid. Let's see how everything goes. Wow, it was a great one. Thank you for coming in. We will see each other on the next occasion. Yeah, yeah. From someone who speaks Spanish, I can really tell you, Spanish is fucking hard. So do not worry. Do not even worry about it. So, yeah, now time to raid. And now time for me to stop streaming.